All right. So, hello everyone. Um, I'm Dani. I present myself in the next slide. So let's talk about on-chain reputation from plutocracy to valocracy. I'm going to approach what is plutocracy and what is valocracy also. This is my favorite topic in Web3, by the way. So yeah, I will ask to interact with me. I have bronchitis right now, so to speak like 5 words, I need to give a deep breath. So don't forget to interact with me. Interact is caring. But yeah, about me, I am DaniMin.eth, also known as Daniela. I'm product manager at Blockful, and I won Ethereum Argentina Hackathon by building a reputation protocol. I'm also a Chainlink community advocate and a postgrad professor in 2 colleges in Brazil. Also a cat and ETH Belgrade lover, and I like Rakia also. I'm biased by the Serbian culture. How it all started. Basically, as I said before, I have joined the Ethereum Argentina Hackathon, and since then I started to study a lot about reputation. And this subject really got me. I wrote this article called Implications of On-Chain Reputation, from Plutocracy to Valocracy. If you are interested, please reach me out. I can send you the link. We won 3 prizes, and the product was inspired by this dApp of the Polkadot ecosystem. I have built this product with Lauro. He's the first ambassador of Polkadot in Brazil. And the print screen there is about Cointelegraph telling that Brazilians won 3 prizes in Ethereum Argentina Hackathon. It was very fun. But let's talk about reputation. This is the etymology of the word reputation. So basically, it comes from the Latin word reputare. So consider, which means again, once more, and putare, which means think. So basically, reputation is about consider again, think about it again. So I guess it's a nice topic to approach because probably you already submitted a proposal in a DAO and everyone votes no because nobody knows you. And you were like, okay, I just wanted those guys to consider me again because I'm actually a builder here. I can potentially build a good product. So this is why I love reputation, because underrepresented members can be reconsidered in some ecosystems. Well, in the Web3 ecosystem, we don't know what reputation is. This is crazy. Reputation is the slippery fish of Web3. Nobody knows how to define it. So what the hell are we doing here? Because this narrative comes back and forth, but we still don't know how to define it. So who's going to define it? dApps, DAOs members? We don't know yet. So that's why I'm here in the stage. I want to discover with all of you. This is Alchemy page about reputation, which is very, very crazy because there's, I think, 26 dApps, and none of them are related to each other. So if you go to Alchemy right now and search for reputation, you'll find like 26 dApps and Collab Land and also Orange Protocol. You'll find even Gitcoin. And Collab Land has nothing to do with Gitcoin. So what is reputation? Even Alchemy that aggregate those kind of dApps can't tell what it is. Well, I have watched this guy talking. His name is Sina at the DevCon 4. This video is really, really nice. If you are interested in reputation on chain, you should search for this video. Well, let's try to define what reputation is. It's our work here. It's up to us to define. So in the dictionary, concept obtained by a person from the public or society which he lives, which is awesome. Because we can translate society in DAOs or community to this Web3 environment. And this guy here said the reputation is the trust graph and the history of behavior. I love that part because history of behavior is exactly what I want to approach here. We need something to aggregate my data, your data, our data on chain to show to organizations and to multiple DAOs that we are building, that we have put some effort in this ecosystem. So why reputation is important? This is very, very important here to approach. Because we are going to have more informed data in decision making. Some time ago, some discussions were on Twitter about security concerns because members with a huge political power are participating in security councils, and they never read a line of code, which can be very, very dangerous for DAOs. So reputation can be important in this part. So I can have aggregated data telling me that I have contributed to codes to, I don't know, audit contracts and so on. And then this security council role can be assigned to me because I can show my reputation and my knowledge on-chain on codes, for example. Also, more fair collaboration and engagement, as reputation is already an instant reward. So I'd be very, very happy if I contribute, for example, to Arbitrum DAO, and I want, I don't know, like a badge. I'll be very happy. And also, if it gives me a multiplier on my voting power. So here is an example. Suppose you have a voting weight equivalent to 2, but you contributed to the DAO. So you can have, I don't know, 0.7 or 0.5% of that voting power, and you can increase your voting power by using your efforts and not only your money, because use your money to govern something is plutocracy. Also, DAO-to-DAO relation. So, for example, even if Maker has nothing to do with Uniswap in a protocol level, they can make things together in a reputation level. So if MakerDAO has a member, and this member is very engaged in the DeFi ecosystem, and Uniswap is needing a dev to, I don't know, create some contract, this Uniswap can search in MakerDAO. Oh, hey, MakerDAO, I saw you have a great score about DeFi members. Could you name, please, a member who's very good in codes and DeFi, please? And then they are related. This is very important because this is connecting the wires of the ecosystem. So even though they are not protocol related, they can be reputation related and help each other on how to define good members on this environment, DeFi or DAOs or codes. And then we will improve cross-organization collaboration, which is very, very important. Also, less influence of certain members that can remain dominant and challenge over time. It will lead to forks. Do you know NounsDAO? Does anybody knows here NounsDAO? Raise your hand. Okay, so probably you know that NounsDAO forked, I guess, in the end of 2023 because of it, because of the political power. So this is very, very bad because downside is reducing network effects. So not everyone is speaking the same language. It will split the treasure, it will split the engagement, and I am a DAO member, I'm a NounsDAO member, and I don't know in which DAO should I be involved in after the fork, which is crazy. And reputation could solve this. Here is a print screen of the rage quit. NounsDAO tried a lot to do it over the time, and reputation could help it because if I'm a DeFi person and I'm involved in NounsDAO, I can have like a role assigned telling people like, okay, I'm good at DeFi, let me decide what to do with the treasure right now. And if you're good with community, go and decide what to do with the community. So the political powers will be more fair and less about trust in someone's PFP. Also, this text is very, very good. You should read that. And it's called Exit, Voice, and Loyalty. And basically, members have two options, exit or use their voices. If they are using their voices, they can be loyal. But if not, they will exit that community, basically. And probably, if you are in this ecosystem for a while, you already joined the DAO, and you notice that you don't have voice inside the DAO, and you just stop engaging with that. So this is exit. Yeah, and loyalty is very, very important, because loyalty will prevent us to forks. So loyalty is what makes us not split the treasure, not split the community, the engagement, will keep us together towards a good future of the governance or the DAO or the community, and so on. Whew. Wait a second. I need to drink something, otherwise I'll die. Well. So let's start to approach plutocracy. What is plutocracy? Does anybody wants to explain what plutocracy is? No? Okay, basically plutocracy is when money is leading the decisions. So we can talk about one token, one vote. If I have a lot of tokens, I have a lot of voting powers. So means that money is leading that decisions, and it's not considering, for example, economic and social background of the members. And this phrase of Wilfredo Pareto is very, very interesting because frequently democracy ends in plutocracy because the power of money is more effective than the power of morals or intelligence. But plutocracy can be a problem in some DAOs. For example, we can mention Uniswap. It's not a problem in Uniswap case. Uniswap has a plutocratic governance model, but attracted huge VCs, great VCs, such as A16Z. But A16Z is leading most of the decisions because A16Z has around 30% of the voting power inside Uniswap. It can be good because it attracts money, but it can be bad because it will make underrepresented members leave the DAO. For example, I'm an Arbitrum DAO member. I have a lot of tokens, but my voting power is still 0%. It's crazy. Well, the downside is, of course, centralization. And Plato said sometime before that such a system, plutocratic systems, leads to instability and eventual moral and social degradation. In the end of the day, it's not a problem for Uniswap, for example, but in Web3, plutocracy is about selling your decentralization. So basically, one token of vote is like, okay, there's amount of tokens here. If you want to buy a huge amount of the token, means that I'm selling you my decentralization. But how to solve that? Okay, we know that one token, one vote leads to plutocracy, low engagement, bribery, centralization, exits, and so on. So democracy should work, right? No? Because one person, one vote is democracy, but leads to civil attacks. Even though we use like identity platforms such as Gitcoin, and we have a lot of them, it's still ineffective because the hard work members are still underrepresented. Because one person, one vote, they still like, for what I'm going to do, put efforts in this community. Makes no sense because everyone has the same voting power here. So let's approach Valocracy. This is a phrase I took from Valocracy Manifesto. It's very, very interesting text from a guy from Brazil. He's very influential in this Web3 ecosystem. He called himself a techno-philosopher. He's very, very interesting. He's a professor, very smart guy, and he created this Valocracy Manifesto. So, structure, social, economic, and political framework that attempts to leverage blockchain technology in order to create new forms of organization with the goal of empowering communities, along with their individuals and their combined effort. So, Valocracy can be like a third path for governance models. So democracy, plutocracy, and then Valocracy, considering efforts. And this is very powerful, because if efforts were considered, we wouldn't need that. This is some screenshots I took from Arbitrum DAO, and recently I have seen a lot of proposals on empower or represent underrepresented members, delegates, and so on. So if efforts were considered on-chain and not only in a social level, we wouldn't need that. What do you think it's going to happen with all those members? If they still underrepresented, they will leave that DAO. They will try to fork in some way. Also, this is regarding resource allocation, which is very, very important. We know that DAOs provides like huge grants. So without reputation, new projects are just new projects. Notice that being new is not a problem, but I don't have any story Onchain about the founders. And if you go to the quest book, Arbitrum DAO quest book or Optimism grants, you can see that most projects asked for grants and the founder just vanished, which is crazy because the DAO is putting money and assuming risks without knowing who are those guys. Yeah, unknown members, great potential loss. Explorability, this is a nice metric. Like, explorability is about how explorable a DAO is, like how easy it is to take money to that, from that DAO. So, as I said before, member can ask for grants and then vanish, and high risk exposure. But with reputation, new projects backed by past successful Onchain could be funded. Members with a history of contributions to the ecosystem can be funded in a fair way, and great potential for applications, meaning that you can build on top of reputation, you can bring more engaged members, you can bring more builders, and mitigated risks. With reputation, resource allocation becomes easier. Also with quadratic funding, as you can see with Gitcoin, but I can see like quadratic funding more like network focused, network based than reputation and efforts based. So if I apply to receive some grants or to be funded through Gitcoin, through quadratic funding, it works. It's very nice. It's very fun. Gitcoin is doing a nice work, but it's more about network. So nobody knows me. If I ask for funding, people will look to my project, and I don't know this girl. I'm not going to donate anything to her. But if I have a picture with, I don't know, a huge optimism logo in my t-shirt, probably people will donate to my project because I am famous and I have a huge brand backing me. Why do we care? I mean Blockful, because we care about longevity of DAOs. We work mainly with public goods, optimizing human coordination, and developing DAO tooling to make it easier to onboard members or to give them the reputation they deserve. And because we let the DAOs tell their members what reputation means to them, if you remember, we don't know what reputation is. So let the DAO tell to their members what reputation is to them. So you will create a relation between members and DAO. So, okay, DAO, reputations to you means developing, means engineering, and also, community calls. So it has something to do with my concept of reputation. So I'm going to join this DAO. So it can create a relation even before I join this DAO. It can be like a process of decision when I read what reputation means to that DAO. And because we want to make resource allocation accessible and fair. So what are we building? We are building a reputation aggregator. Basically, we will read all your on-chain data, such as POAP, events, votes, proposals, blah, 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 and some your in real-life use cases. And then DAOs and organization can create their scores. So, okay, I am MakerDAO. To me, it's very, very important to consider your POAPs. So join us, and if you have a lot of POAPs, you have voting power, and that's it. We already have an MVP using AES, Ethereum Attestation Service, and DAOs can read the data we are aggregating by using in their own schemas. They will choose what reputation means to them. This is the page we created. Let me know if you are interested in test it. We need someone to test it, so let me know, please. Okay, let me know, reach me out after the talk. I'll save your number and we are going to test it. And let's see if you have a great reputation on chain. Well, in the words of Calvin College, it is much more important to kill bad bills than to pass good ones. Well, thank you. Reach me out if you want to test. Here's my Telegram. And let me know if you have any questions regarding reputation and DAO governance, please. Raise your hand. Go ahead. Oh.
Just wait for the mic for a second.
Yeah, I should be drinking water, not Coca-Cola.
Hey. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi. I'm also involved with the reputation a little bit. So my question for you is, and this is the use case that I'm cracking inside of my head. Do you see a reputation or tokenized reputation becoming a DeFi asset at some point near in the future? Because at the end of the day, this will become an asset that will represent some value, right? So do you see this entering the DeFi anytime soon?
Yeah, this is an awesome point. I faced this question in the hackathon in Argentina, and the idea is to not transfer this reputation because it's about my efforts. It's about me. I cannot transfer the works I have done for Blockful or Arbitrundal and so on. But I remember that when I created this project in Argentina, we created using soulbound tokens, and the judges didn't like it. And I was like, okay, so what's the point? Can I transfer, and I don't know, add my reputation assets in a liquidity pool and trade that? It doesn't make any sense. But here we have more problems to face. So if you turn these badges and attestations and everything, your reputation, soulbound, we have another risk involved. That is, if someone loses their private key or seed phrase, right, he will lose all the reputation. But that's an interesting question. In my point of view, it should be non-transferable, because it doesn't make any sense. A scammer can buy my reputation and be funded. So it all will be messed up again. I don't know. Let's talk about. I want to see your point of view on it. Yeah.
Will do. Okay.
Thank you. More questions? No? Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniela. And take the water.